let's get you the latest on the fifth phase of UP elections. The focus of the assembly election shifts to central and Awadh region seats in UP that vote today, as polling in the fifth phase for 61 seats across 12 districts in the state is held. Voters will decide the fate of 692 candidates in the fray in the districts of Sultanpur, Chitrakoot, Pratapgarh, in Kaushambi, Prayagraj, Bharej and Gonda. All eyes will be on temple town Ayodhya, which was the epicenter of the movement for the construction of the Ram Temple. BJP MLA VP Gupta will contest against Pawan Pandey from the Samajwadi Party on this seat. Of the 61 seats going to polls in the fifth phase of the seventh phase election, 58 are in eastern UP. Amethi, once considered a Congress bastion, also votes today. Well, let's go across to our reporters. Alok joins us from Amethi and Sanket joins us from Prayagraj. Sanket, first to you, what's it like there? Have people lined up for the voting?
Well, yes, and early morning you can see a fair amount of activity, Gargi, for a polling station. It's not very cold, not very hot either, so the temperature is right. Maybe people facilitates the people to come out very early in the morning. Some of the VIPs or the ministers of the Yogi government are also here. Siddharth Singh is here to cast his vote. As you can see, people have started coming in, though in the frame you may see more media personnel than actual voters. But this is expected to pick up as the day progresses. Each area has its own dynamics. For instance, where Alok is, Amethi, it's a prestige battle. Here in Prayagraj, it's the sheer number of seats that one sees which are in contest. As many as 12 are in contest. So that is going to be very, very crucial. Who is going to win how much? Now, we did see that the BJP did remarkably well in 2017 in the Prayagraj region. This time around, the BJP expects that on the back of the spectacular, they claim the spectacular Kumbh organization, the name change from Allahabad to Prayagraj, and also all the local issues that mattered in the previous phases will help them sail through in the Prayagraj region as well. As you mentioned, this is the phase where the maximum number of seats are going to polls in Uttar Pradesh, 61. This actually holds the key for both these political parties to make that big surge, because this is the entry point into the Purvanchal brand of politics of Uttar Pradesh. So far we saw western and central, now we are slowly moving eastwards. Who has the caste equation right is going to be king from phases here on.
All right, and Alok, Amethi, once the bastion of the Congress, no more, though we did see a major push ahead of this phase of elections by the Congress there, with both Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and Rahul Gandhi campaigning.
Well, good morning, Gargi. You are absolutely right. I'll just step aside and give you a few shots while I talk about Amethi and its relevance to the election. As you pointed out, the one relevance of Amethi is the fact that this used to be an erstwhile Congress bastion, at least for the Lok Sabha. Rahul Gandhi and before that many other Congress stalwarts were MPs from here. But Rahul Gandhi lost the 2019 election to Smriti Irani of the BJP. And in the Vidhan Sabha elections, the Congress does not hold even one of the 4 assembly seats in Amethi, Gargi. So 3 are held by the BJP and 1 is held by the Samajwadi Party. So it is a tough battle for the Congress to, try and make a new, fresh inroads into, what used to be their bastion. Whether that will happen or not, of course, remains to be seen. But yes, like you said, there was a push from the Congress in the last in the last week. I covered a rally by Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, a joint rally, not very far from where I am. And, Rahul Gandhi, this was his first campaign in Uttar Pradesh. And that also tells you a story. The fact that, we are at the fag end of the election, only 2 phases will remain after this one. And yet Rahul Gandhi came in physically for a campaign just on that day. So whether the Congress can, do something, whether they can regain lost glory, if I can say that, remains to be seen. But I think the other good thing to see is that all of these people are coming here to cast their vote early in the morning. Polling percentages have hovered around 59, 60, 58 in the last few phases. So one waits to see what the polling percentages will be this time around. But here in a rural booth where I am right now, it does seem to be brisk voting in the first hour and 15 minutes.
And Alok, what are the kind of issues that have been, very key in this phase of the election? We've seen a lot of talk about stray cattle as well.
Well, you're absolutely right. In fact, I thank you for asking me that, because I had forgotten about one thing that I will now discuss. So, very interestingly, yesterday night on our UP government media group, we received this press release in English, mind you, because all the government's releases come to us in Hindi. But yesterday we got a press release in English, unsigned, not signed by anyone. But it said that, it basically suggested that this problem of stray cattle that the media has been reporting is overhyped, and that there are just a few cattle, quote, who are roaming around on the roads or in agricultural fields. Now, I have to say that this appears to be, in contradiction to what NDTV and other people, other media houses have reported in the last, particularly in the lead up to this phase and the next phases, because as you move from Bundelkhand towards eastern UP, you'll find that this issue of stray cattle is something that was resonating on the ground. And this is something that our reporters have spoken about and reported on. And like I said, other media houses have also reported on. But the government, at least at the moment, appears to be aggressive in the sense that it is saying that, look, there are many gaushalas here. We are running them efficiently, and that, stray cattle are being sent to those gaushalas. Funds are being released to help them subsist and survive, etc., etc. And like I said, the operative bit being that last part where they said that, look, there are very few stray cattle out on the roads, on the field. So that is something that is a big issue. And then, of course, you have this entire Ayodhya Prayagraj belt that is polling. So, that entire fusion of religion and politics has taken place in this phase that Sanket perhaps was already describing. So that again is a big issue when it comes to it, because Prayagraj is also polling Gargi, it's also Uttar Pradesh's coaching hub. So there are a lot of young people there who come in from different eastern UP districts and stay there. Not all of them may be voting today, but certainly that issue of jobs and employment has also resonated amongst voters when it comes to the urban population in places like Prayagraj.